All right, guys, Joe Steele coming to you here from the Steel Mindset. First thing we got to talk about is Rosecraft Blades. Now, Rosecraft Blades in general, coming like one of my favorite companies. They're an American-based company. Obviously, we know that their OEM is overseas. Their designers, company, their sales, their QC, their customer service, American-grown, American-run. You just got to love the people that are involved with Rosecraft Blades. Had them on Blade Talk when we first started. We had Andy on and we had Swags on. Andy's pretty much kind of the GM, head of operations and all that. You got to love Andy. Andy's a knife guy. He's a great dude, really giving person, really just loves working with the knife community. He's just happy doing what he's doing, but he likes what he does. They're knife people from the get-go. Swags, she's like everybody's big sister, or little sister rather. You know, Swags is the designer, Andy's the head designer. You just gotta love all these guys, you really do, because they're really true blue, just, you know, a knife people like us, and they're into the stuff that we're into. You know, the designs and everything that they're coming out with are pretty much what we would want also, you know, on our end. So you just gotta like the company for itself. Their QC is excellent. Yes, you're getting knives from overseas, but you know what? They stand behind all their products. Everything that comes out of Rosecraft Blades, whether it be a folder or their new fixed blades, is completely sharp, ultra sharp out of the box. And that's an important thing. Now we gotta talk about the knife. Now you guys know ultra uber excited I am that they released their fixed blades. There's something about Rosecraft Blades knives. I just like their stuff. I like their designs. They're fresh, they're new, they're fun, and they're just simple, and they're no nonsense, not a lot of frills. Sometimes you just want a knife that is fit well, it works, fits in your hand. You don't have to, you know, fobble with it to make it do whatever you need to do. They're just good knives. And they're fun. They put a lot like a fun element into the knives. I love the color scheme. I love their rounded, bubbly designs on some of them. They're just good, but they're made with a purpose. They're made to work and fit in your hand and do the right thing. I mean, not super expensive, very cost effective, a nice budget style type of knife. I feel like they kind of branched the same thing over to their fixed blade line, and I've been excited about getting their fixed blade line for pretty much a long time now. I really like what they did with them. The approach they did, I mean, you have one main from Mike Snyder, which I'm reviewing today. You have Hawkins Rose, which I already reviewed. You have one that I still have to review from Andy Armstrong. And of course from, you know, our little sister, our beloved Savannah Swags, sharp and pointy things. We are doing the Chase Snyder one today. Fit and finish is great. They're simple knives. They're not anything overzealous. They're just made right, and they're made clean. They're efficient, they cut, they're sharp as hell, all of them, and they work. Blade coatings, which I do like the PVD coating on this Chase Snyder a lot better than the Hawkins Rose one with the epoxy powdered finish. Kind of flaking off too much with use. I like the PVD coating. I think they should definitely go with that because the Chase Snyder one did a lot better. With this Chase Snyder version 1 is the Chase Snyder, which I'm reviewing today. This was, as I thought it would be, pretty much a straight slicer. A straight slicer, a straight cutter, very sharp, nice edge profile for cutting, pretty comfortable in the hand. I love the jimping, I love the different ways you can hold it. This is exactly what I thought it would be when I first opened it up and held it in my hand for the first time. That's exactly what it is. So that's how I pursued it. That's how I used it. It's not a big banger. Did some batoning with it, but I knew the construction would hold itself up well. So I'm pretty happy with basically how it turned out. Now listen, I brought it through the normal protocol of basically testing my knives on my reviews, but I was more curious to see how this knife performed with all the normal testing, especially going through like this tough material like the sandblast hose. And this is the original, it's not as thick, but it is steel reinforced, and I really wanted to put a lot of pressure on the 1095 steel, the heat tempering, because this is a new blade for me. This is a new steel. I have never seen fixed blades from Rosecraft Blades before, so I'm going to try to really pay attention to how these knives do within all these normal tests, and it really did a great job doing a lot of extensive cutting on the sandblast hose. It cut through it, sliced it pretty good. I mean, like I said, this is just, I conceived this knife to be, or I perceived this knife to be a very good slicing, everyday slicing knife, and that's exactly what it is. It's got a great grip, it's got the jimping on 3 parts, and you just have a firm hold on it, and it's a good slicing knife. My curious thing was to see how the 1095 steel held up, and also equally as important for me, since I know how the PVD coating lasted on the Hawkins Rose version, I wanted to see how this PVD coating lasts as opposed to the black powdered epoxy coating that they used on the other knife. Going through wood, like listen, this is not the best wood carving type of knife, but again, I'm probably going to say the same thing about this knife that I'm going to say with all of them. This is a good all-purpose knife. It does everything well, but nothing much better than other knives. So it's just a well-balanced knife. This happens to be a little bit more of a slicier type of knife. Not a big banger. You're going to see me doing some batoning with it, but that's more just to test how tough the knife is. But even look like this little finessing work that I'm doing here, just working on this same spearhead that I do with all my knife reviews, the same one, and this thing is getting pointier and pointier and pointier. I was able to take that second grip on the jimping in the back and able to do whatever I needed to do with it. So finessing work is good, wood carving, kindling with the wood is good. Batoning, again, this is not a batoning knife. I didn't get huge chunks of wood. This is just to really put as much pressure as I could in a reasonable amount on the point, banging the spine, banging the jimping and the G10, see if the screws are dislodged, see if any chips would be forced, see how if I'm going to get maybe unnaturally wear out the edge and see if it's not going to be sharp anymore to be able to cut. Just all these little things that a knife is supposed to do and supposed to handle, and that's the testament of a quality knife. Here I'm, again, banging on the spine again, doing some light batoning on the log here. Again, I'm not trying to break it. I'm just trying to see how the construction is on this knife. And then as they have new renditions, I'm going to say, all right, first rendition handled itself well. This is, again, for me, it's like dealing with a new knife company. I've never seen fixed blades from Rosecrest before, so I wanted to really put it through its paces and see how it handles itself. And so far, it's okay. Now, ultimately, we're going to bring it through a car tire. What am I doing here? I want to see if it's still slicey. As you can see, it's still slicing through the tire pretty damn good. So the 1095, so far, the edge retention is holding up. It's slicing through it like a really good cutlery knife would should do. What am I doing here as well? I'm also checking the PVD coating. Tires, cutting through rubber tires is a coating killer. It can, if you have a weak coating or not a good application on the coating, it will show on this type of test. You'll see scratches, you'll see scrapes, you'll see the coating kind of coming off. The PVD coating, I think, handled itself well. There is some spots, which I'll show you at the end, that did come off, but I'm pretty happy with the improvement from this coating according to in comparison to the first coating, the Hawkins Rose version on the F4. Checking the edge right now, little edge check. I'm seeing that it's still being able to curl wood, so the edge still didn't diminish enough to the point where it's not a capable knife that can still be used. So I'm still able to curl wood and do the knife things. It's able to do knife things still, so that's always a comforting thing to see at this point in the test. So guys, this is the F1 basically with the Kydex sheet. Now I change it over to a Scout carry. Obviously you're able, it comes in with the vertical, the regular standard carry, but you could change it over to Scout carry, which is changing up 2 screws. It's not a big deal. It has the belt clip. I like this side this way, because you can kind of just, for me to engage with it, I like it better just having it to the side, and then you basically take the Japanese style and just basically putting it in, so it's very easy to kind of engage with it. Now what I like about it is the fact that it does have the belt clip with the Tex lock attachment. Now having the Tech lock means that basically you're able to engage with it without having to take your belt off. So that's the beauty of the Tech lock system. And this is the simple one where you just have the one push button where you can kind of just open it up, kind of stick it right onto your belt. Very easy to basically remove on and off your belt. Maybe you got to go to the bathroom, you don't want to have your knife on, and it's ready to go. And basically whenever you want to engage with Scout carry, it's very easy to kind of engage with it. And to return it, it's equally as easy. So I like basically how the Tech lock system works, how the Kydex system works, locks into place, doesn't shake or rattle. I think they did a fine job with that, like they did with the Hawkins Rose one. All right, guys, so like you've seen, this knife really performed extremely well. I was very happy with how it performed. I knew it was going to be a slicer. I knew exactly the way it felt and the way it kind of just, you were able to have the different types of hold like I showed you. Now, if you look at the close-ups here, you notice there's 3 parts where you can kind of engage with this knife in terms of the jimping, which is genius. I like how they did it because they give you versatility of how you're going to hold this knife. So you have basically your thumb ramp here where you can hold the knife in first position. Second position with the second set of jimping, you can basically take a really tight thumb grip right there. And then you have the third position of the jimping on the spine, which I've never seen this before, where you could really go in with your finger and get in there to do like the bow drill, to make like little, drill in some holes, or maybe scoop up some things, or maybe do some food prep. It's a nice tight grip you can take. So I like the jimping that they did pretty much all around the blade, and that's a really nice design that he kind of came up with. The only thing, I'm showing you that it would change here, right here, and again, it's probably a price issue as well, as far as not putting too much material in it, or this was the design here, where you're in this finger, the choil fits. I would make this a little bit girthy, a little bit thicker, just to kind of fill in your finger a little bit more. But I know they probably would have to change the blade width. But other than that, it is comfortable. You kind of really does fit in your hands really well. I'd rather have maybe a little bit more girth here. But other than that, it is a perfectly comfortable handle. Again, no nonsense, clean, great execution, great fit and finish. I just like how they kind of designed and made up this knife. It's a good, simple, really good everyday fixed blade type of carry. Not too big of a blade. And I was really happy with the result, basically, even after the tire cutting with the PVD coating. You notice the PVD coating handled itself a lot better than a lot of knives out there. Directly to the Hawkins Rose version, because the Hawkins Rose version with the black powdered epoxy finish, you could see how it was kind of scratching all off. This handled itself pretty well. Strangely enough, it did kind of scuff up on exactly the same spot on each side of the blade, as you can see. But other than that, the rest of the blade is pretty clean. If I had to make any recommendation, if anybody listens to me at all, I would say Rosecraft, Andy, go with the PVD coating. I think it's going to be a lot better. I know that your version is with the powdered finish. I may find around the same results, so we'll see how that works out. But I do like the PVD coating a lot better. Now, what I did at the end, as you can see, guys, which I don't ever normally do, but since this is a new knife company, I wanted to see how the edge held up, doing a lot of the steel belted stuff, cutting through the tire, and I did a lot of revolutions on the tire cutting, as you've seen, because I wanted to really put a lot of pressure on PVD coating and also the edge to see if I would get any chips or micro abrasions or anything like that. And with these extreme micro close-ups on the edge, guys, on the point, in the middle, all along the side, I tried to give you as steady of a shot as I can give you to let you get an idea of how the edge looks. And this is as close as we're going to get to it. I could probably get a little closer, but you're not going to know what you're seeing. But you can see that there's only, aside from the scratches on the edge itself, which is so small because it's so enlarged, there's no chipping or no micro chips that I can really see with the naked eye. If you can see them, let me know, but I don't see anything. So it really did, the edge handled itself well. So the heat tempering on this new 1095 steel, this new OEM or same OEM, did a great job in the hedge retention. I wanted to really make a point to show you these close-ups after I did the testing, to show you that I didn't see really any damage other than the scratching and the PVD coating. You can see it's very clean, same scuff marks on each side, a couple little mudged up on the point, but it's for the most part, I'm very happy with it. I'm a stickler for PVD coating. I don't want to use a knife and not have it basically look like crap after I'm done using it and stuff. So the edge did hold up. The heat tempering looks pretty good. That's what I like about 1095. It holds its edge pretty well, but when it doesn't, it's very easy to maintain and bring it back to the sharpness that you need it in order to keep it going. So 1095 is always good in my book, and they did a great job with their OEM and the heat tempering on this 1095. It is a really good looking knife. I love the green and the red liners. Chase Snyder edition. It's an F1. The actual number is an RC F001. It's a 4-inch blade. 1095 drop point, nicely done PVD coating, 3.7 millimeters thickness on the spine. It's got that really nice 3-section jimping on the spine with the thumb ramp, sure grip, multiple positions, 4.2-inch OD green G10 with a red G10 liners. So you have the green and the red, which I like a lot. I love the look of this knife, and it's cleanly executed, extremely cleanly executed. This is a really good looking freaking knife. 8 3/4 inches overall. In terms of the length, it's about 5.7 ounces, very manageable. And again, you have that Kydex with the Tech Lock system. So guys, listen, another great job from Chase Snyder. is a designer from Rosecraft Blades. Another great job basically on their fixed blades. I like this one. I like the PVD coating on this one. I like how this one really turned out. It was a great slicing type of knife. I think that's what it is. It does hold up to like maybe some light batoning. The construction is good. I tested that out. It's a tough knife, and the edge holds up. No damage on the edge going through the steel belted stuff and the sandblast hose and doing the normal cutting and forcing it into the wood, like lodging in the point and turning it. The point held up. So it's a good construction, guys. It's a well-made knife, and for under $100, how the hell could you go wrong? Without a doubt, guys, this is a no-brainer. This is the Chase Snyder F1. I like the knife for the price. It is really just a great bargain. Great job, Rosecraft Blades. Shout out to Rosecraft Blades for helping me bring you this video. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to, because they sent me all these knives to review, to send over to you. I like what they did with this one. So far, this is my favorite. We're going to keep on going. We got 2 more. Love the coating, love the knife, love the look, love how it worked, and love the fact that it's such a great slicer. 1095, big fan of it, and it just did well. So good job, Rosecraft Blades. Looking forward to what you have in store for us in terms of the fixed blade market. And you know, fixed blades are my favorite. I love them. I love them to death. So great job, Andy. Until the next sword or knife video, guys. Joe Steele out. See you when I see you. Ciao.